Alright guys, hope everyone's well. In this video I'm going to basically talk about how to approach warm-up sets in the gym so that you warm up safely and effectively. So in terms of why it matters, again as you briefly touched on it, when we are warming up it will affect our performance. So for example, if your warm-up, you've done an absolute ton of reps, you've done like a lighter weight, but you've done a ton of reps with it. Let's say you've done 30 reps, just a bit of an exaggeration, and that's gonna tire your muscles out. And if you're not working to failure during that set, you could say it's not really gonna benefit you in terms of muscle growth, because we know we need to train to failure to grow muscle. So if the purpose of that set isn't to build muscle, we should be really cautious with how we're warming up so that we do so without taking away from our hard and heavy working sets or the sets we are training to failure. And it also gives us the ability to establish and drill in good execution. So during your warm-up sets, if you approach them like it's your hard set, the exact same setup, you treat them with a lot of care, you pay attention to your technique, then when you get into your hard set, you won't have to have as much mental focus going on because you've already drilled the technique a good 4 times during your warm-ups maybe, so that you know exactly how to do it effectively. And again, if your execution's good, you're gonna be less likely to get injured, as well as just being able to warm up effectively and getting blood in your muscles and doing enough of a warm-up will limit injury risk as well. And lastly, our confidence going into our hard sets. So if we do our warm-up sets, we're really specific with how we do them, and we do it in a calculated way with really good form. You know you've nailed that form, you're going to be more confident going into your hard set, and you're not going to be as likely to basically mess it up or anything to go wrong form-wise. So how I recommend you approach warm-ups is, we'll take the bench press for example. So let's say you're doing a 100 kilo working set. So by working set I just mean your hard set, your top set, whatever you want to call it. Plenty of different terms out there. So if you're going to do 100 kilograms, 2 plates to 20 kilos a side, what you'd maybe want to do is 20 kilos, or in other words a bar, for 10 reps. And then you could put 40 kilos, so 2 tens on each side, and you could do 10 reps again. After that, you could do 60 kilos for 6 reps, then 80 kilograms for 2 reps, and then you could go into your 100 kilogram working set. And what you might have realised is when the weight gets heavier, the reps get lighter. And the reason why is, if I do 20 kilos for 10 reps, it'll probably help get the muscle warm, get some blood in the muscle, but it's not going to tire me out because it's only 20 kilos. However, if I've done 80 kilos for 10 reps, that is close to the weight I'm doing for my hard set, so that's going to be quite challenging. Yes, I can obviously do it, but it might tire out my muscle, and that, as a result, it'll take away from how much weight I can lift for the set that really matters, my hard set. So that's why I taper the reps down. So that's generally what I recommend doing. But saying that, see if you have any reason to do it differently, then feel free to do so. And this isn't a set in stone way, this is just an example. For example, if you're doing like a barbell back squat, you might need more warm-up sets if you've not done any movements beforehand. And yeah, so if you are lifting 200 kilos, you might want to do more warm-ups because you might not want to jump up as heavy on like a barbell back squat. And as well as that, towards the end of a session, let's say you're doing let's say you're doing legs, and you're the 6th movement in. You've got, let's say you've got walking lunges. You've already done big compound exercises for your legs. Your quads are already very warm, tons of blood in them. They're really tired from training. You probably don't have to do the same approach as I just went over. You could probably get away with less warm-up sets. For example, like the other day I was lunging 30 kilos, so for my warm-up sets I just done like 10 kilos for, like, this is dumbbells, 10 kilos each dumbbell for like 6 reps, and then I done the 20 kilo dumbbells for like 4 to 6 reps as well, because that's all I needed. I was warm. What my goal was in that scenario was just to establish the right form and make sure form is there. And another reason why you might want to do additional warm-up sets is just any injuries or niggles present. And what I mean by niggles is be it aches and pains, or like if something's aggravated, then you might not want to do as little warm-ups as that. You might feel like you need more, because what that approach is basically trying to do is warm up so that you can perform as best as possible without taking away from your performance and getting injured, basically. But what's the priority is not getting injured, sorry. Getting injured is definitely not the priority. So that's what our main concern would be. So if you need more, do more. It's just we should try and get away with as little warm-ups as possible while being able to do it safely. And again, another scenario when you might need to do more is when you get stronger, because let's say I started bench pressing 200 kilos. I wish, but it means like I probably couldn't get away with doing that little warm-up sets because the weight's heavier. Not that just because it's heavier doesn't mean I'm going to get injured, but like it's like common sense. You're not wanting to jump under something extremely heavy after not doing a lot of warm-up sets and getting plenty of blood in your muscles. And it takes some trial and error, just finding what works for you and finding out like what weight to do before your hard set, because like there's an element of it as well. It's like if I'm doing a 100 kilo bench press, let's say I only need to do 60 kilos for my last warm up, like to do it safely. Saying that, if I just jump to 100 kilos, it feels different because it's so much heavier. So sometimes just touching a weight that's close to your hard set and doing one rep can help you just get used to how the weight's going to feel for your hard set. So yeah, that's about it for today's lesson. Hope you've enjoyed it. Again, any questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. And hope everyone has a great week.